Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing one of my favorite books of this year, and one book which has been very much anticipated by many book lovers, and it's been much talked about, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by VE Schwab. So this book, I believe it came out, when did it came out? I think it came out last month, but this autumn. And this book is highly, it has been much talked about and has received a lot of love. And when I found out about this book via YouTube and BookTube, and because a lot of my favorite booktubers were talking about it, and I was actually in the middle of reading VE Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic series, and when I saw the cover, it was actually not this cover, it was a US cover. This is the UK one, I believe. When I saw the cover and also when I heard the story, I got immediately sucked in and I knew that I had to read it, so I did. So without further ado, let's get into it. So The Invisible Life of Addie Larue is a adult fantasy novel by VE Schwab, and basically we follow a young woman whose name is Addie Larue, and when we first meet her, she's living in France during the 17th century. Yeah, 1654, is that right? Basically in 1600s or 1700s, I can't remember. Actually, does it say here? 1714. So yeah, so when we first meet her, Addie Larue is a young woman in France during the 1700s, and basically she is facing an unwanted and forced marriage by her parents, and in a desperate plea to escape this, because she has bigger dreams, like she wants to discover the world and she does not want to be locked into a marriage. In a desperate plea, the night or the day of her wedding, she goes to the woods, and in desperation she prays for someone to give her an escape out of it, thinking that nobody would answer. But however, somebody does, and that somebody turns out to be like the devil. And basically what when she prays to the devil and he answers her, basically she agrees to a deal where she does not know the full extent of it when she makes a deal, but essentially she will escape her forced marriage by becoming immortal. However, there's a catch, and Addie does not know this when she makes a deal, but the catch is that even though she's immortal, every single person that she will meet will not remember her. For example, like she will walk into a shop and the person there will see her, and then 5 minutes later they will not remember that she walked in. So, and then we follow her as she lives throughout different centuries with this deal, and how she copes with it through different parts of the world, with nobody remembering her. However, until one day she meets a stranger who does remember her, and basically I'm not gonna say any more. I think I'm gonna insert like a spoiler part, but this video, because I really want to talk about it in more detail. But yes, before that is the story, and we follow Addie, and how she lives with this deal or bargain that she makes with the devil, and throughout different centuries, ever since we meet her in 1714, and we flip the chapters flip from different centuries and different places around the world, because how she travels and basically how she goes about living her life. And I really love this book, guys. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, Victoria Schwab's writing is so beautiful and poetic, and it's just so magical and like a fairy tale. It's so lush. I love the writing style, and I immediately, even before I started reading the story, I really loved it. Because it just seemed so different and just so so different from anything I'd ever heard. And yes, so I really enjoyed it. I have to say that I understand, because I have heard some mixed reviews about it, mostly good things. But I've heard some people say that they did not like it very much because the story was a bit slow paced, in comparison to maybe some of other VE Schwab's books, and also in general. And I do understand that, because it is a slow-paced book, and I think that's why I like it. I kind of like descriptive and slow-paced books around different characters. I love characters, so but yeah, no, I really loved this book, and it's just, I don't know, you really want to keep reading it and find out, as you follow Addie and you feel for her character, and there are snippets of her like talking to like her basically the devil, or like the guy who she made the deal with, who is the devil, but she calls him Luke, and he kind of jumps in here and there, and they have conversations like throughout her life. Like, he kind of makes her visits, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like something weird, but I don't know, I really love this book. It was so great. Above all else, I really enjoyed the writing style, because VE Schwab's writing is simply beautiful and gorgeous, and it flows so well. And yes, I really enjoyed it. So without further ado, now I'm going to get into the spoilers for this book. So if you have not read this book already, then go away, because you will get spoilers now, and go and read the book so you can join in on the talk. All right. Okay. So now, hopefully, anybody who's watching will already have read the book, because now I'm going to be talking about the spoilers. So if you've read the book, I'm sure you'll know what happens. Addie, one day she walks into bookstores, and she meets one stranger who remembers her, Henry. And oh my god, like, guys, the main thing that I loved about this book is not only the writing style, but also the characters. I loved all the characters, especially Henry. I loved him, and it was like his story was so kind of heartbreaking in a way. Like, you could really feel like his desperation just to be loved, and yeah, I don't know, and I definitely did not see that twist coming, like the reason why he remembers her, because I don't know, I just did not see it coming, and I really was intrigued when we found out about it. And it was really interesting to see his perspective, the switch in the chapters from Addie's perspective and then going to him. I really enjoyed that, because it kind of gave it like a dual perspective of the story. And yes, I loved it so much. It was like, I loved the relationship between the two of them, between Addie and Henry, and God, it was so sweet and honest, and I almost teared up at the end because, oh God, that ending, that was like, I kind of did not like it because I really wanted them to stay together, and I really wanted that hopefully, like, that Addie could bargain and change things so they could stay together, but oh God, that ending, that really made me cry. Like, I don't, well, it almost made me cry. I don't normally cry in books. There has been very few books that I do cry in. And, but oh my God, I was so close. I was so close to crying when reading this book. It was, oh, I don't know. I really felt for Henry, and I also felt for Adeline, or Addie, but I especially felt for Henry because you could just see how he just really wants to be loved. And with Addie, I loved her as well as a main character. I loved her wit and just the way she is and how she goes about her life, and yeah, like. And I loved her like interacting with all the different characters. For example, like with what was it? Henry's best friend, was it? Yeah, and just other characters, just how like her comments, like how she would respond to it, like when we didn't remember her, and oh yeah, I don't know. And I loved how we follow her life and how she travels throughout the world, like from it switches between France and New York, but then also different parts of the world. I really love that because, goddamn, I miss traveling in real life. So this is kind of my way of traveling, even though it's like a different way. But oh, I really miss traveling now, and I really want to go back to New York and like France. I just want to travel anywhere. Anywhere except the UK and Spain. I just want to travel, to be completely honest. But oh no, this book, I really loved it. As I said before, I can understand why some people might find it slow, and because it is very descriptive and it is very much about the characters, so there's not a lot of action, but I really like that. Like you really get the sense of the characters and their stories, and you really feel for them, and that's what drew me in. And yeah, I don't know, I loved all the characters. I even loved the cat book, like, oh, and like I loved like how like Henry and how he worked like in a small bookshop, and oh yeah. And let's just talk about the relationship between Luke, the devil, and Addie. That was, I don't know, when I first started reading this book, it was kind of like, obviously we see her making the deal and the bargain with Luke in the beginning, but then how they come and he comes and revisits her. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like at first, I wasn't completely like, I didn't really get it, but then eventually, as the story went on, I did, and it just, even though he's a bad guy, you kind of like him in a way. Like he's got this like devilish charm, obviously because he is a devil, duh. But I don't know. I even enjoy that part, even though it is, you know, there are issues, but oh my God. And overall, I loved this book so much, and I loved the way how the sections of the books, it had the artwork on each page, and at first, I have to admit, I didn't really get that. It took maybe half the way through the book for me to get that it was her in all the artwork. But when I did, that was honestly one of my favorite parts of the book, when Henry discovers that, oh, it is Addie in all the pictures and all the art. That was one of my favorite moments. It just felt very like so honest and so I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And I think my other favorite parts of the book was that, and also when they were just like kind of dating, like the beginning stages. I don't know, and it's just how, oh yeah, when she confesses to him and says, oh well, this is who I am, and like I'm actually 300 years old, and it's just like that kind of like banter, like you wouldn't expect it to be humorous, but it is. It's like, what is it the line that he says? I'm trying to find it. What is it? Um, Trying to see if we can find it. I can't remember. I can't find it in the book. But basically, the line where he, when they're talking about it, and she confesses to him, and yeah, I really loved that part. I don't know. It was just so honest, and like you kind of expect him to like freak out and like, you know, because who wouldn't? Let's be honest. But then he doesn't, and then of course later we find out why. But I really love this book, guys. So, oh, and I also love the character, like the cover of this book. It's so stunning. I'm really happy that I got this cover of the book, because I did like the American version, but I especially love this one, and I loved how like all the blue, the flowers, and like the dots. I guess those are her freckles, like the constellation of her stars. And yeah, it's so good, and I love how like the artwork in between, like inside, like of them too. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that it had this pretty artwork on the cover. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I wonder if there's something at the back. I don't know this because I did, of course, I did read the book, but then I actually keep the dust jacket on. I know that's like a major thing for some people, but I don't know. I just do it. Does anyone else do that? I don't know. Anyway, I really love this book. Oh, if anybody else has read this book, then please comment down below, like, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you not? If you did, what were your favorite parts? And yeah, anyway, that kind of wraps up my mini review of Addie Larue and The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by VE Schwab. And I hope that you enjoyed it. If you, as I said, if you haven't already read the book, then please comment down below, because I really want to interact and talk about it more, because I really loved it. And I think, I have to say, I don't know, because I didn't, okay, so I knew the basis of the story, like basically how it's about a girl who is immortal, and then somebody remembers her. I knew that going into it, but I didn't know anything else. And I kind of did that on purpose, because I wanted to, yeah, because there had been so much talk about it, I kind of wanted to go into it not knowing a whole lot except the basis of the story, because the basis of the story was what drew me in. So, I don't know. I really loved it. I think this is one of my favorite books of the year, to be quite honest. So, and oh, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars because it's stunning. The writing alone is stunning, and the character development and the characters, it's also awesome. Yeah, So anyway. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also make sure to click the notification bell here or there so you get notified every time I upload a new video, because I know sometimes you don't see all of them when that happens, but if you do, then you will. And if you also want to talk about this book and hang out, which we totally should, because why not? Please go and follow me on social media, which is at I'd Read More Books, and that's both for Twitter and Instagram. And let's talk about this book, and or books in general, because we do that. I mean, that's what we do here. And over there I can actually talk to you guys more. So yeah, that would be great. And yeah, I hope you're all staying safe and that you're having a good week so far. I don't know when this is going up, but I'm filming this on a Wednesday. It probably is gonna go up quite soon. But anyway, yeah, I hope you're having a good week so far, and for those of you in the UK, I really hope that you're okay and you're coping with the second lockdown and everything like that, and even all those other people in other countries who are also experiencing similar things like a second lockdown. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're coping. I hope you're staying busy in some way, and I hope that you take the time to look after yourselves, and when you need to, because it's so important. Because let's face it, this year has been weird. But anyway, I hope that you all are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye!